if you don't know better, you won't do
He
better. So
got a
his
whole
dad could have
daughter.
he could have had a long line of cheaters that really just never taught him how to
That's an
be a
excuse,
better
man.
husband.
That's an
It's
Yeah.
excuse.
not. It's not. That's how we are. We as
That's an
men,
excuse.
if you're raised a certain way, it's like
Bruh,
you
bruh,
So you was raised to
y'all
be
not about to do
raised to
my
be a cheater? Is that
bruh.
what you saying?
no, no. I'm saying cheating is bad, guys. No, no, no. Cheating is bad, but at the same time,
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Popcorn and Hot Takes. Thank y'all for being with us this far. We've had so much fun doing this podcast, and we're gonna let that fun continue. On this podcast, we review movies, we review TV shows, and give our honest opinion on it. We give our hot takes, what we like, what we dislike, what was dope, what was whack, and we want y'all to interact with us too. So as y'all are watching this episode and something sticks out to y'all, we want y'all to hit the comment, um, interact with the content. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share it. And also give us some feedback on some stuff that you think we should cover as well. Today's show that we're going to be covering, I feel like taps it to a different crowd. Something that's kind of outside of our norm, but it's a very great show and something that we all enjoy watching. And we are going to be talking about Four Seasons, specifically season two of Four Seasons. But just a quick overview about the show. So it's this group of friends. They're going through these different phases in life, right? Think the name Four Seasons. And they're just like navigating all of these changes as friends, right? There's in season one, the death of their friend Nick, right? And now in season two, it's them navigating that, right? So just like paying homage to him. Nick has a baby now that he's not here to raise. Claude and Danny moving to Italy, and then you got Jack and Kate going through their thing. So it really talks about all of these seasons of life that these groups of friends are navigating as they improve their relationships individually as well as a collective group. Let's get into it. Lalinda, we'll start with you. What's your thoughts on Four Seasons? How do you feel about the show? What sticks out to you about it?
Um, I really enjoyed season one, so I was super excited to see season two. I actually like randomly would always think like, oh, like that was really good. Like, when are they gonna come out with another season? Are they gonna come out with another season? And then I found out that it was out, so I was actually very excited. Overall, I really like it as someone who's like newly married. I like to see like the different type of couples there are and just kind of like see what parts of like the marriages in the show like relate to me and like my marriage or just like the people and like who I kind of like relate to as like an individual. And then I also like that it's not just about like it's about like marital relationships, but outside of that it's also about like friendship dynamics and friendship relationships. So I very much like those dynamics. Overall, I find it to be very funny, and I'm a big lover of comedy. I find it very, very funny. My favorite character for sure is Anne. I think she is a hoot. Anything with her in it, I know she's about to kill it and have me cracking up. Just like I think she's so funny, just very naturally. But overall, I thought it was really great. I really like the dynamic between Kate and Jack, just because they like it's very to me it feels like very much what marriages are like they have their ups, their downs, their highs and lows, but the number one thing that you know and remains constant is like you never really think they're going to get a divorce. Like you know like they're in a bad part of their life or a bad phase in their marriage, but you know that like ultimately like they're pretty solid. They're just going through something at the time. And the number one thing that we always see with them is that like they eventually come to a point where they talk it out with each other. And that's like my favorite dynamic on the show and what I really like get from the show that I like. So, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, Darius, what about you?
Yeah, no, it is a really funny show. Anything with Steve Carell, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
the Office is hands down one of the greatest shows of all time.
Hmm.
Um, so I think it's really funny. It's funny to me because most times when we see these type of shows, it's usually a group of younger people. It's usually a group of younger
Mm,
couples. So to see
mhm.
middle-aged couples going through basically they're going through things in life, and you think, when you're that old, you kind of have it all together, you know, and they really don't. So a lot of them are trying to figure things out, but maintaining this friend group. I think it's so cool how they maintain this friend group all throughout. Even when, you know, they moved, you know, the couple moves to Italy and they still like, okay, I can't be without my friends. And then they just get into the funniest stuff. Like the episode where they were locked in the house. The police told them to stay inside the house.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
was the funniest when the guy went outside and said, I know, let me talk to them. And the police said, go back inside.
Go
And
back
I said,
inside.
that's what I
Yeah.
thought y'all was saying. That was it's like it's corny, but it's so funny. And then just how Coleman Domingo acts as Danny, I feel like that's how he really would act. If, you know,
True.
that's how he would act
Yeah.
with his spouse. It's just funny. Um, so yeah, no, it's just a really well written, really funny show, and it never lacks. It never runs. It's a lot of shows they start to just run. It's okay, where are we going? It's never running. It's okay, we're gonna pick up this joke, we're gonna sit the joke here, and then we're gonna go on to the next thing. So even when they, you know, introduce the baby, that was
Hmm.
just like, okay, this is cool. We continue to see Nick's girlfriend and see how she progresses with this friend group. They just took it
Yeah.
over and said, we're gonna help you raise this baby.
Yeah,
Which was
right,
so
right.
cool to me because it's like, dang, Nick and Nick died so abruptly. I hated that. I don't know why they did that or what that was
Yeah.
about. But he died so abruptly, so I'd have loved to see him. But
Hmm.
it's just a well written show that keeps you entertained from start to finish. That's why I'm
Yeah.
a keep watching. I'm like Linda. I was just randomly thinking about like, well, dang, when is coming back? And then I looked up and boom, season 2 is back. So it's one of them type of shows where it's a feel good show. It's okay. I'm gonna sit down and watch season 3, season 4. This show can go on for a while actually. So yeah.
Hmm. Exactly. But no, I think it's a quality show, like y'all said, just
Hmm.
like watching how they all navigate these changes in their lives. I think one of my favorite episodes from season 2 was when they did the flashback on Thanksgiving
Yeah.
and Jack and Nick were having that tussle in the yard and they just kind of had like this moment just like reflecting on each other's lives
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
how they grew up and just like really like giving each other insight into themselves that they may have never even realized.
Yeah.
And so like it has that like funny banter, but then
Hmm.
it has like those moments of depth where like it shows like their I guess like their humanity, their flaws, their
Yeah.
vulnerability. And I think the character development of the show is really good. Like I feel like we can identify something about ourselves in each of those characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like it's a very powerful show from that aspect. So just thinking about like character development and everything, if there's a character that you feel like you connect with most on this show, which character would it be?
Hmm.
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah. I'm over here like, oh, I don't
Good
know.
question. Um, you know what, man? I'm gonna have to say Nick. Even though Nick died, I'm gonna have to go with Nick.
Wait, so are you
Um,
saying you ain't no good?
I got some opinions on Nick. So the fact that you said Nick is
You
crazy.
toxic. You toxic. Hey, y'all heard it here first. Darius might be toxic if he connected
listen,
with
Apparently,
Nick.
he gave himself that title.
thank you guys. Thanks for jumping on me like that. But yeah, no, if I had to pick, yes, Nick, only because yes, I can, you know, I can see myself being Nick in that show. It's like, yeah, man, I love my wife. I love her, but we ain't walking down the same road no more. I just found this new nice this young lady. So let me see what she talking about. But then
Hey,
I hit
if
her
she drop
friend,
if somebody
you know,
drop a pie off at your house, then we know what's going on.
and but I hate her friends. You see how Nick started trying to be cool with her friends, and they was trash. Like, no, let's go back to my friend group. But yeah, Nick. If I had to pick, Nick.
That's
So,
crazy. Oh my God.
sorry, sorry guys.
All
That's
right, hold on. We gotta clean this up. What's a positive trait about Nick
yes.
that you identify
What?
with? Because you
He
just
was funny.
connected to
He
all
was
the
funny.
toxic things. That's
He
it.
was funny. Nick
That's
was
it.
funny. And Nick,
They
honestly,
all funny in their own way.
Nick held the friend group together. Let's keep it a buck. When Nick passed, the friend group was like they were hurt. It's like, okay, what we gonna do without that's our guy. He held even when him and his wife divorced, she's still around. You know what I'm saying? Nick held the friend group together. That's me. I hold all my friend group together. Without me, they just individuals. With me, it's like they go Darius, y'all. So we know the entourage behind him. That's what it is. So I'm the glue. I'm the wind beneath people's wings. Nick is the wind beneath people's wings. That's a little toxic too, huh?
It's whatever you want it to be.
That's crazy.
All right,
Maybe I should.
Melinda. Go ahead, Melinda. Let's
Okay.
let's clean this up because
Nick.
Darius toxic.
If I had to say, this is hard. I would say maybe honestly, I see like a little parts of a lot of them, but if I had to say like I more so watch for like the relationship dynamics. I would probably say Claude. I'm gonna get a little deep, tell y'all some of my business. But I'd say Claude just because like one of the dynamics in his relationship is like him having to compromise a lot and just kind of like get his like I don't know how to say it, but like just kind of like compromise a lot and like feel comfortable like truly just like saying how he feels. Like he is pretty honest about how he feels, but like you can tell sometimes he's like hesitant because he knows that he has a partner that's gonna like challenge it. And I think like just like the aspect of him moving to the US, I don't know about moving to the US, but like living in the US with him and wanting to be back at like in his old country, I forget where it was, Italy, to be in Italy with his
Yeah.
family and then like that dynamic like initially I was going to move to California, but I stayed in Michigan to be with my husband because I wanted to be with him. And like now we're in
Yeah.
California. So like I really related to that story a lot from like Claude's point of view because it was kind of like while you very much love your partner, you do have some things about like your identity that sometimes you can feel like get lost because you're making your relationship work and like certain things that like you just compromise. Like a big part of relationships we all know is like compromising. And I just feel like I can relate to him on like having to compromise on some big things often. My marriage is great, but it's just like some of those things. So I can very much relate to him in that aspect.
Yeah, you
Man,
did
that's
go deep.
crazy.
You did go deep
That
on that
sound
one.
mine
Yeah.
Yeah.
sound terrible compared to yours. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man,
Austin, you
I,
about to go ahead and knock it out the park too. Go ahead, bro.
nah, I would say, man, it's tough because I feel like I see myself like in a lot of these characters as well.
Yeah.
But I think I resonate most with Jack.
Okay.
You like I'm very in tune with how I feel
Yeah.
and like what's going on, but I still want the world around me to be okay. Like I still like want my friends to be connected. I want my family to be connected. And if it looks like something is gonna like be a threat to that, then I don't feel good, right?
Yeah.
it's like no, I want all this to be together. And like I just feel like I have a lot of moments sometimes in life where um I feel I don't want to use the word misunderstood, but
Hmm.
there are like people have preconceived notions about my personality and who I am, right? And it could be completely wrong, but I'm still going to be cool with everybody. But like that moment when he met that guy on the beach
Yeah.
and they were just like hitting it off super cool. Like I feel like I have a lot of moments like that where I'll meet a random person and we just talking about whatever and it's like, oh man, it feels good to like just be seen without the bias of who a person thinks that I am.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I think I resonate with Jack the most. I think a character who I've grown to and y'all can answer this question too, but like a character who I think I've like grown to enjoy, I guess, is Danny.
Hmm. Yeah.
More so this season than the first season because for the first time we see him outside of his comfort zone
Hmm.
and we see him like really get vulnerable and just kind of deal with like what he's been internalizing, like the conversation about whether him and Claude if they're gonna have a baby or not.
Hmm.
Like it was so much back and forth with Danny, and Danny even recalled that conversation differently than how it actually happened.
Yeah.
And so like I don't know, just seeing him be outside of his comfort zone and like really be vulnerable because he's like the sassy relief on the show. Like he
Yeah.
always has some kind of sarcastic comment, but then you take him out of his world and like he doesn't have that anymore. So you
Right.
gotta like really see him be himself. I'll pose the same question to y'all. Like what character do y'all feel like y'all have grown to kind of build a relationship that you didn't have with in season one?
I'm gonna go with Annie because when when Nick passed and when Nick passed and his girlfriend had, he had the baby, I think taking on this parental role kind of was it was kind of like dang, do I miss this what I had with my husband? Do I miss this aspect of what I've had with my husband? And now it's like, okay, I might could do this over again. And I think at first it was kind of like they were pushing her off at the same time, but then it's like, okay, let's let her rock. You know what I'm saying? Let's just let her rock. And she started to do that. So I think Annie started to feel, I don't know if I wouldn't say it's regret, but I think she just started feeling down. It's like, okay, where did we go wrong? Where we ultimately divorced and all this stuff because they kind of hated each other before he died. They kind of hated each other. So it
Mhm.
was I felt like she started to find herself again after he passed, which is kind of crazy to say, but I felt like she started to find herself of who she was a little bit more. Um, and then just kind of gravitated more towards this new baby. And I love the friendship that her and Danny had. Um, as they started going. They started growing. I thought their relationship started growing a lot better because I feel like Danny kind of confided in her a lot. Because Danny had a lot going on himself. He had a lot going on himself where he didn't kind of know what he wanted to do, where he wanted to go. So yeah, I think he confided in her a lot. So I think Annie was the one I kind of grew a little closer to.
Yeah, let me ask you this, Darius. Do you think the baby was a shield for Annie?
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. I think, like I said, because Nick's girlfriend was kind of hesitant because remember at the funeral they didn't let her say anything, and
Mm,
that started to weigh on Annie. Annie, a lot of things. Annie has emotions. She has a lot of emotions. So things start to weigh on her heavy, and it's like I can't, what I'm saying, we can't do that girl like that. And that's basically what she said. Like, I'm sorry, that was out of spite. That felt like an out of spite type of thing. And I think that baby was kind of a shield, but at the same time, it gave her a sense of being needed again. I think it just gave her a sense of being needed. So that was kind of cool. But I didn't like when she started messing around with that guy. I didn't
you
like that
didn't
part.
like that?
I didn't. I
I
don't know.
thought
He
it
was
was I thought it was good for her. I mean,
yes and no. I
until
didn't.
she waited too late to hit him back, but
Yeah, yeah, because it kind of was like you waited, man. Let it go. But I
he
that
was
I don't know.
he was entertaining it though.
He was messing with Andy.
Okay with it until the picture of her private came to his phone. And I
Yeah,
think that's
yeah.
when he was willing like he was like, all right, we got to shut this joint down.
We gotta
And she
chill.
started doing way too much with the
Yeah.
photos around the
Yeah.
city and all that. It's doing way too much. So
I
what
think he
about you?
did too much in general as like sending her a picture to begin with. I think if you were in a committed relationship, you ain't talked to this lady in years, you ain't never even have to like respond to her. Like,
Right, right.
I think he should just left that at that. I don't think she was wrong for sleeping with him. Like, Stella need to get her group back. Well, Annie need to
Yeah.
get her group back. But so yeah, real quick side note to go back to what you were saying. I hated how they treated her when they were trying to act like I personally think like she was like very a little overly involved with the baby, but I felt like y'all, this lady at first was only playing games on her phone and wasn't really doing anything. This is giving her like something to focus
Life.
her energy
Yeah.
on. Yeah, like at least she's happy doing it, like she said, and like she was trying to call them
Yeah,
out too. Like y'all so worried about me, and like y'all all got your own problems, and like I'm
y'all
actually
all
good
got something
over
going.
here and know what I'm going
Yeah,
got going on. Like
that's what I'm
so, like
saying.
I was
Yeah,
I love that like she called them out, and I also didn't have a problem with her. I think she was a hint overly involved, as we saw when like the mom would try to do her own things, and she would be like, "No, do this." Just like it's still
Yeah, like going in
baby.
the
yeah,
ocean and
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was about to
yeah,
say,
yeah,
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 yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
think also that's just like a common thing with women who've already had kids when they are around like a new mom. I feel
For
like that
sure.
Yes.
naturally happens. But I just, so like she was a little overly, but I don't think it was so much so that like they needed to be having private conversations about her and trying to be like, you need to go out and do this. Like, she just already is a different person than them in general. So like her personality. So it's like she's not gonna want to like go smoke weed or like sleep with all
Right.
these guys or go to the club. Like that's
Or
just
go
not
do
her.
cocaine on the dance floor like Danny
Yeah,
did.
like that just wasn't
Right.
her. Like she just, yeah. So I hated how they were treating her during that time. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, and
But
that's why I kind of liked it. That's why I liked her because I felt like they tried to push her out of her circle. It's like, bro, this is my circle.
yeah,
Let me be in my bubble. This is what I like to
That's
do.
true.
And
Yeah, that's true.
I do feel like like you said, most moms that have kids, they feel like, okay, I've been through this. I can tell you what to do, man. No, let that lady raise her kid without
yeah,
putting the baby feet in the ocean. I'm just like, okay, it ain't gonna hurt the baby. Let the baby touch a little water. You know what I'm saying? But
exactly.
I felt like that was a lot. But I'm like, he was like, leave me alone. This is who y'all met me as. I'm in my bubble. This is my bubble. I'm comfortable here. Leave me
Yeah,
here.
a character I would say like the questions like I grew to like relate to or I liked. I would say mine was probably Kate actually, just because I feel like Kate's like one of those characters like you like and like she's a more steady character. And like you kind of know what you're gonna get from her. So I like this season that like we did see a different side of her when she like I did not think she was about to smoke that weed. I did not think she was gonna do that. So I love that she did that. But I also just very much like and again, I think both her and Jack in a way because like as I mentioned, like I just feel like they're very relatable as a couple. But I think like she just made a lot of sense to me as to like when I go on vacation, I'm the type of person who like cries the day I have to go home or like the night before I have to go home because I don't want to go home. Like it is amazing on vacation. So I completely understand. Like it's a different aura when you're with like your partner on vacation than when you're at home.
Yeah.
Like when you're at home, you have your daily things that you have to focus on. And like we might be in the same room, but we're not as connected as we are when we both have like ample time to focus on each other during vacation. So like I really like resonated with that. And then I also resonated with the fact that, like, yeah, like you're this different person when we're on vacation as well. Like, you're out here making
Hmm.
friends at the beach, wanting to do this and do that. But when we're at home, I don't get that version of you. Like,
Right.
Hmm.
so I
Hmm.
definitely like, I just resonated with like everything she was saying because, like, I've been there, but also just like as a viewer watching it, like seeing him talk to Mark Brett at the beach, I'm just like, oh, like he needs somebody to talk to. And I found it interesting that like that person wasn't his wife. Cause I know if like I found out my husband did that, like I understand sometimes you like want somebody who's unbiased, as you were saying, but like talk to me. Like I'm right
Yeah.
here.
And
So
and I think and I think a funny thing about that is he did talk to her, but she was overwhelmed
that's fact.
Yeah.
and didn't
No.
give him the attention he needed.
She
But
was talking.
that's only because he never allowed her the space to share how she was feeling, right? And
That's
Yep.
so when they ended up running that full marathon, when they ended up running the marathon, oh, it's a half marathon. So when they ended up running the full marathon, and he was like, "Tell me how you feel," and she just like start letting it all out. Like
yeah.
Yep.
you could see Jack's face change. Like, yo, like I didn't know you were dealing with all that. And he
Yeah.
said,
Hmm.
I want you to tell me that. But inside, I'm like, Jack, you got to give her the space to tell
Yeah,
you
Yeah.
that.
that's true.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's not invalidating what Jack is going through, but it's like, bro, give her some space to speak. Like
That's facts.
that was it they're empty nesters now. So like that's a
Hmm.
change. And so like
Yeah.
their marriage is about to get redefined. And it's like she never really had space. So she couldn't give him what he needed. because he wasn't giving her what she needed.
What she needed. Yep.
And I think like by the end of that episode when they ran that race, I think they like are on the cusp of like a really great spot in their marriage.
I think so too. I think also with her
Mhm.
character, it was nice to see that, like, not nice to see. I would take that back, not nice to see, but it was just like also interesting as a viewer to see how like she could be so much more open with Danny than she was her husband. And she was also just a lot more fun with Danny. Like she's talking about how her husband's more fun with other people. It was like, you're also more fun with Danny as well. Like, you know what I mean? So it was just interesting to see like
Yeah.
her relationship with her best friend compared to how it was with her husband.
Yeah.
Didn't they say she was? Didn't they say at one point that her and she was in love with Danny or something like that?
Yeah, which was so weird.
Yeah, Claw's family was saying that. Yeah.
Season two, I am gonna go 4 out of 5. Only reason I can't go 5 is because why do they keep killing my man Steve Carell? What is going
Busy.
on?
He booked and busy. He got other
That
places
would
to
say,
go.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
bro, you could have kept filming Coming to Migos doing Michael. You could have
But he
filmed.
did, right, true. He did make an appearance though in that
He
flashback
did.
Which
episode.
I was
That was
caught off
cool.
guard by. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. But it's like, dang, Steve, when he left office, I was really upset because the office got so bad.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, keep him in. But the writing on this show is so perfect, man. It's just really good. And the jokes are great for I feel like it's really good for our age group. That's why we laugh at it. Now, if I was 20, I probably wouldn't watch this show at all. But in my
Mhm.
mid-30s, this
Yeah.
show is perfect. So yeah, I give it a 4 out of 5 for my popcorn.
All right.
For me, I'm gonna give it a 3.5, not to just be different and not give it a 4, but because I really enjoyed, I don't know, it was good though. So maybe a 4. Hold on. I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give it a 4. However, I will say this. It is a 4. It was a 4. It's not a 5, but it's a
Okay.
4. But
Okay. Okay.
I was a little hesitant on giving it a 4 because I like this season a lot too, but I preferred season 1 over season 2. And that's
Hmm.
why I like comparing the two. I was gonna give it a 3 or a 3.5. But the season, take away season 1, I'm gonna give it a 4. It was a good season, but comparing the two, I definitely like season 1 better.
Season one was better. Season
Yeah.
two felt more of a story than season
Yep.
one. Season one kind of just was hitting us with
It just
every
kept
single
going.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it just and
Yeah.
season two kind of stepped back and told us a story, which that's what kind of what I like a show that tells a story. So I would rather see a
Hmm.
story first, then kind of start hitting. But I thought it was cool how they kind of went back and started telling the story.
Yeah.
That's why, so I
Yeah.
get it though.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah. For me, I think I would give it a 3.95.
Okay.
I know I'm being difficult, but just because while this season was great, the storyline was great, I feel like there were a lot of space filler moments that just felt like, all right, we need to like add something in to like drag this
Mhm.
thing
That's
on a
how
little
I
bit.
feel. Yeah.
Um, just to make sure that we meet the time frame of this 45-minute episode, like whatever the time frame is. I just felt like there was a lot of empty moments and not necessarily understanding like where we're going with the show. But maybe that's the point of the show, right? Like all these people
Yeah.
they don't understand where they're going in life. And so
That's
like
true.
maybe that's the goal of the writer, like to make us as viewers feel what them as characters are feeling is like, I don't know where to go. Let's just like go with the flow and see what happens. Like nobody expected Anne to say, "Hey, I'm staying in Italy for infinite amount of time, like TBD
Yeah.
on when I come back to the US." Or
Yeah.
nobody expected Claude to say, "Hey, I'm move not yeah, Claude to say, "Hey, I'm moving back to Philly." Like
Hmm.
nobody like we didn't see those moments coming. And so
Yeah.
I guess after I put it that way, I give it a 4 out of 5. Like the
We
writers,
struggling.
You
I
just
know,
talked
right?
yourself into a 4.
A 4, exactly. I think the writers, yeah, the writers do a good job at like making you feel what the characters are feeling.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah. So I feel like early on, and I feel like this entire episode, we've been like really deep. Like it's been deep discussion. So
Yeah.
we gonna lighten the mood a little bit. What's like one or two of y'all funniest moments from season two?
When they were in Italy and think she was they were going to the bathroom, she had to climb over that window.
Mm-hmm.
and her head went down, and her feet was just dangling, and she peed on herself. That was so funny to me because Daddy kept telling her she smelled like pee after that. That was funny. And when Jack kicked that turkey, because it's like
Yeah,
out of
that was funny.
nowhere, he just kicked the turkey and tore his foot up. I'm like, why are you that mad? We gotta eat. Why you gotta kick the whole turkey? Those were
That was
the
funny.
funniest. Yeah, those were the funniest parts of me for sure.
The hands down, I think funniest part for me were like I laughed out loud, dying laugh was when Mark Brett was at the beach and they kept saying like hi and he was ignoring
Oh, when he was at that wedding?
yes. And
Uh-huh.
then they invited him like to hang out later. He's like, well, it's just my niece's reception, but can I see
Yeah.
that? Like I just thought that
Yeah.
whole scene was hilarious because I thought he was lying too. So I thought that was so funny. And then I would say the second funniest moment is probably that whole like turkey scene. Cause like, why was he like, it was just too much. I thought that was so funny. Like, I was not expecting none of that. So
Yeah.
those are
The
my two.
beach part was funny because I think he did. He say, "Oh, there he is, right there," and he kind of
Yeah,
yelled
he
out,
like,
"Oh,
hey, Brett. Yeah,
dog!"
yeah, that was funny.
That was really
That was
funny.
funny. Yeah.
Oh, and then he was like, the photographer said that you're in the background of
And
all
all,
the
Yeah,
all the
photos.
photos, yeah,
So
that
funny.
was funny. Yeah, I would say the scene that really sticks out for me, is when they were in Italy, like they were at the market shopping, and
Mhm.
they kept comparing Anne to that witch, and she was like,
Yes.
this witch doesn't look like me, does it? And Danny was behind her, like,
Yes,
I
that's a
guess
good
it
one.
does. Yo,
Facts, facts.
like that witch looked exactly like her.
Just like her.
Yeah, but that was like definitely
Oh,
the funniest scene from the whole show for
Yeah.
me.
I thought that was hilarious too.
Yeah. So hot takes. Do y'all have any hot takes from the show? Well, I guess my hot take is what I said earlier when I said like everybody probably gives Kate a lot of slack for not
Mhm.
really listening to Jack, but Jack never gave Kate the space to
Hmm.
Yeah.
express herself. So that's my hot take.
I think my hot take is I think Danny and his husband went back and forth about a lot of stuff that didn't need to be back and forth about. Even with the baby, neither one of them really wanted a
Really
dang
wanted
on
that
baby.
baby. Yeah.
And I
Literally.
felt like we kept going back. It's like, dude, neither one of y'all want a baby. First of all, you're old. Y'all seen how hard it was when y'all was watching Nick's baby.
Exactly.
Daddy looked like he was about to cry at some point. They just went back and forth about a lot of stuff that just really didn't need to go back and forth about.
It's a hot take, but I don't think it's a hot take. I think it's a popular take, but I don't know because Darius said that he sees himself in him. But like Nick is trash. Like
Come on, man. Chill.
first season, like I was kind of in agreement with him, like, okay, like she lost her spark. All she wanna do is play games. Like they're just growing like apart. They're different people. But then like watching the season, this man been cheating on this lady, was a trash husband. Like, no, Nick was trash. Like I was happy that they showed that side of him because ew, like he gave me the ick and I could not stand that man after they were showing how he was.
But why was he a trash husband? If the wife wasn't doing what she was supposed to do, then maybe I wouldn't be a trash
Have a
husband. If maybe,
conversation. Go to therapy. You don't just start cheating on your wife and then lie
see,
and say you're not gonna do it again and proceed to keep doing
a
it.
lot of people say they're not gonna cheat, but you go back and cheat. It's hard to not cheat, guys. Not saying that you guys, you know what I'm saying, but not cheating is very tough because it's like I got my wife at home, she born, but here go this new chick.
Divorce her.
It's like a video game. I got a PlayStation 4. That PS5 coming out. Man, I gotta see what this PS5 talking about. I'm gonna
So
keep
you
my
gonna keep both
PS4
at
over
the same
here.
time or no?
Facts, facts. I'm gonna keep my PS4 because we got some sentimental value.
Oh,
But this
Oh my
PS5
God.
for 4K, Dolby Digital, surround sound, my whole little PS4 is 180p. You trash, bro. Let me see.
wow.
So nah, y'all ain't gonna do my boy Nick like that.
Nick was
Nick was
trash.
going through some things. Nick was
Yo,
going through some things,
you
man.
really
It
just
happened.
said a marriage is like a PlayStation
You keep
console.
both of
That's
them.
probably
You
that's probably why y'all two married and I'm not.
All right, so I'm gonna pose two questions to y'all, viewers. I'm gonna pose two questions to y'all. On a scale, on a popcorn scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna raise it to 10. How toxic was Nick? That's one question.
Yeah.
So make sure y'all drop y'all popcorns in the comments so we can see. And then the second question, I'm gonna go back to what we asked earlier. Which character did you identify with the most and why?
Okay.
I
And
feel
how
like we got
toxic?
some. Oh, there we go. Danny and Claw's dog right there.
Hilarious. And how toxic do you think Darius is on a scale of 1 to 5? Put it in
10,
the
That's
because
all.
he
comments.
identified with Nick and Nick is a 10.
Because
Crazy.
yeah, there we go. There we go. So look, man, this was a fun episode. Like we started
For
off getting
sure.
getting super emotional, and then we ended with like Darius comparing marriage to a PlayStation. Sometimes you gotta have more than one console to play with. Okay.
And again, I'm not married, guys, so I wouldn't know still. I'm not married. These two are married. I don't have. That's probably why. That's probably why I ain't married.
Yo, so
But
listen,
someday though. Someday.
so that's the end of our episode. We want to thank Nick, aka Darius, for joining the podcast today. I'm
I'm a part of it. What are we talking about?
no, you
I
Nick
didn't just
today.
join. I'm a part.
No, you Nick today, dog. You Nick. You about to turn into a middle-aged white man in the
I
middle
won't
of
be
this
driving my
episode.
car for a few days. I can tell you that much.
Yo, hey, look, thank y'all for watching this episode. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share this out. Like I said, like we always say, we all family. So whatever happens in the chat, that's what y'all getting on this video screen. So be on the lookout for our next episode. We got some exciting things coming out. And like I said before, like, comment, subscribe, share, and answer our questions. Answer our questions. We want to know what y'all think. Until next time, popcorn and hot takes.
Peace.
Peace.